So as it's the weekend approaching, I thought it was only appropriate to do this video tonight. And I'll try and keep this video as short as I can because it's a really broad subject and it's something you can speak about a lot. But when I said diets first weekends, what I basically meant from a personal perspective is how my diet on the weekend basically F's up all the hard work I do in the week. And I get caught and have been caught in this cycle for the last couple of months is Monday I wake up and I feel guilty, I think, God, that weekend was a bit too heavy, I've eaten a load of crap, I haven't trained, I've drunk, and I wake up and I think, this weekend, I'm not going to do it again, I'm not going to have a takeaway, I'm going to stay on my diet, I'm going to be strict. Then I get to Friday and all those initial strong feelings that I had have gone out the window. And I think, that's just basically, for a lot of us, throughout the week, Monday to Friday, we all work full-time jobs. I get stressed, I get tired, I work long days, and then by the time I get to Friday, all I think is I want to go out and have a good time, I want to see my mates, I want to have a drink, I want to have a takeaway. But basically, what happens is, it just undoes all that hard work that I've been doing Monday to Friday, but then I get caught in this vicious cycle where, I'm not really seeing any progress because I'm just going, weekends I'm going out, Monday I'm feeling guilty, Friday I'm too stressed and too tired to care about it, and then again, that repeated process. So for me, there's two approaches that I take to try and undo this, and I have one approach is to bite the bullet, and the other approach is the softer approach, is where basically you just try to be gradually better each weekend. You're not going to have 2 takeaways, you're just going to have 1. I'm not going to go out and have beer, I'm going to have gin and tonic, and making healthier changes. For me personally, like I said, I only have one that works for me, and that's to bite the bullet. And that's just from a personal perspective because of the type of person I am. I'm either doing something 100% or I'm not doing it at all. For me, I have to bite the bullet. I have to go, 12 weeks where I'm not really drinking, not really having takeaways. I'm just smashing my training, just like my head is all in one place. But on that note as well, it takes a lot of months for me to build up to that point where I bite the bullet. It isn't like all of a sudden I click my fingers and I think, biting the bullet, I'm going to get in shape. Like, it doesn't happen like that. It's a gradual period of weeks and months of me basically getting more fed up of being caught in that plateau, getting more fed up of being in that cycle where I'm not seeing progress. And then after a period of months and weeks or however long it is, I basically have a turning point where I think, enough's enough, I'm just going to do it now. And, it all has different periods, time frames for me. I've been training a long time, I've gone in and out of shape so many times. Sometimes it takes me, I'll be out of shape for 6 weeks. Sometimes I've honestly been out of shape for 9 months to a year. So, how long or when I choose to do it, it's just kind of like a gut feeling I have. The other approach is the one that just doesn't work for me. It works for a lot of people, but it just doesn't work for me from a personal point of view because in all honesty, I have an addictive personality. If I go out and I'm going for food with my mates, I will never, I see the healthy option, but there'll be the meal that I really want, and I will always just have the meal that I want. And if I want to have a beer, I'll just have a beer. And if I want to have a drink, I'll just have a drink. So if I start to dip one toe in it, I'll put my whole foot in it. So that's just not an option for me. It's not an option that I rule out because I have loads family and friends, when I go out and they're trying to diet and stuff, they'll always be really good, and they won't have that alcohol, or when we go out for dinner, they choose the healthy options. That perfectly works for some people. That just personally doesn't work for me. So to conclude it, diets first weekend, how do you fix that problem? And it's a very personal thing. You're even going to be one of these people that you'll get so fed up, and you'll see, see a lot of these people online, these transformations where people weigh like 300 pounds and they drop down to 180 in like a year's time. And that's a bite the bullet. They basically got so fed up of their weight, and they've just thought, I've had enough. And in a quick period of time, they've just gone 0 to 100, and they change their physique and they change how they're feeling within themselves. And then equally, you get people that do it a lot gradually. Some people find where losing weight over a sustainable piece of time also works more well for them. So diets first weekend really is finding really what works for you. It's a very personal thing. It isn't really, people can guide you and people can tell you what to do, And you know, some people will tell you the right thing to do that does work for you, but you know, you've got to try things. You've got to try, you know, is it the bite the bullet, or is it, you know, you've got to do things over a gradual period of time. But neither will work unless you're conscious, and if you're generally trying at both, they won't actually work. So you've got to make sure, you know, whatever approach you do try, or everything that you do try, you've at least got to be committed to one or the other, and that's when, you know, you'll kind of gain a better understanding of yourself, and that will, you know, inevitably help you basically lead to the results that you want, help you to establish, you know, what's going to best help you reach your fitness goals. So just a bullet point, you know, really to summarize it. Firstly, you know, you've got to find out, you know, what is the best approach for you, and that comes with trial and error. Like for me, I know bite the bullet. It's because I've done the other approach loads of times, and I've done the bite the bullet loads of times, and I just know that just always worked for me. 2, timing as well. You know, if you're going to commit to either one of these things, make sure you're in the right frame of mind. Like I said, you've got to commit to one or the other, but sometimes, you know, you've got to time it. Like I said, it can take me 6 weeks, sometimes it can take me 6 months, sometimes it can take me a year before I finally bite the bullet. So when choosing what approach you want to do or what side you want to be committed to, make sure you're in the right frame of mind to do it. And lastly, be nice to yourself. That's what I am, and probably you've seen if you've been watching my recent videos, I'm not really beating myself about anything. I don't come in and I've been speaking and be like, oh God, you know, I'm not seeing these rapid results. You know, be nice to yourself. You know, I've gone through, you know, I've trained years, and I've, you know, gone through large periods of times where I've been really beating myself up. Like, why aren't I in shape? Like, why aren't I doing it? Why aren't I getting the results I want? You know, never do that. Like I said, understand it's a process. Understand it's a trial and error. You've got to find an understanding of yourself. And like I said, the more you do this and the nicer you are to yourself, and understand that, you know, it's just a process, the healthier you'll be mentally and both physically. So yeah, that's everything for diets, first weekends, and sorry everyone that it was so long.